Mini racers. There are over 250 of these little guys, and yet there are so many mini racers that Mattel have not yet even touched. Maybe you could say Guido is one of them, but I guess let's start off with number 10, which is, I guess, the most wanted mini racer, which is none other than Guido himself. Yes, he did actually receive a plastic version in this mini playset, which is on the go playset, I guess you could call it. It came with a Lightning McQueen, and the Lightning McQueen was actually a proper mini, but the Guido was plastic. Still to scale with the mini races, but we're still yet to get a die-cast version of Guido. He is probably one of the most wanted mini racers out there, along with some others, which we'll talk about right now. At number 9 on this list is Mini Racers Cars 1 Chick Hicks. For some reason, Mattel have just not touched Cars 1 Chick Hicks as a mini racer. They keep reproducing him in the Cars 3 mold with the RSN logos and former and forever Piston Cup champion. But for some reason, Mattel have never made a Cars 1 Chick Hicks, and he will look really cool right next to the King, Lightning McQueen, and Chick Hicks as a free pack. They did technically do a free pack of those guys, but they used the Cars 3 Chick, so I don't know why they haven't even bothered making one yet. But yeah, on to number 8, which is Boost. Yep, we need a Mini Racers Boost to complete the fleet of the tuners. We had DJ, Snotwad, and Wingo, pretty much in that order, but we are yet to get the main guy himself, Boost. Hopefully in 26 we get him, or even at the very end of 25, going into 26, we managed to get Boost. He's one of the other ones on this list that is really highly wanted, just to complete the complete tuner set. How cool those 4 guys look together. And well, yeah, that's basically it for the highly wanted ones. Now we're going to some other ones which are probably gonna happen at some point, but not right now. At number 7 on this list is Lewis Hamilton. Now, I know we should get all the World Grand Prix races as mini races, but I believe Lewis Hamilton should be the next one we get, just because he will look cool next to Jeff Gorvette, and he is also one of the ones, along with Rip Gonski, which they haven't even bothered touching yet, and I guess you could say Nigel Gisley as well. What is it with the British racers that Mattel just don't want to touch? They didn't even bother making Nigel Gisley or Lewis Hamilton as GRC racers, but let alone mini races. But I believe Lewis Hamilton should be the one that they make next, just because he will go very, very well next to Rip Gonski. So yeah, that is number 7 on this list. I should say Sir Lewis Hamilton, really. But yeah, on to number 6 and 5. At number 6 and 5 on this list is Daryl, Cartrip, and Bob Cutlass. Now, these won't really work as a 2-pack, which would be really cool as a mini races 2-pack. But we got them in mini adventure form back in the day. So it would be nice to have these guys as mini races as well. Probably it will be the Cars 3 Bob Cutlass and Daryl Cartrip, just because that's the way Mattel works these days. They haven't even bothered touching Cars 1 Bob Cutlass for many, many years now, not even since 2010, I believe it was. The last time he actually got a release, actually no, 2014, I believe, in a 2-pack with microphone. But anyways, yeah, Bob Cutlass and Daryl Cartrip will look absolutely cool as mini racers. And they tend to do pairs of cars like Busty and Dusty. They've done those as mini races as well. Just released them different times. So yeah, maybe at some point we'll get like Daryl Cartrip, and then a few months later we'll get Bob Cutlass, or the other way round. Next up on this list will be, and number 4 in this list is Rod Talk Redline. Now, Mattel hasn't even actually made a Thailand variant of Rod Talk Redline yet. But if you're not going to make a Thailand version of him, at least make a mini races form of him. I mean, if you don't want to touch Leland Turbo, then I completely understand that one. But you have made Holly Shifwell and Finn McMissile. The other one that you really, really should make as a mini racer is Rod Talk Redline. He would look absolutely amazing. I'm looking at my Micro Drifters 1 version now, and yeah, just him a little bit bigger and movable wheels will look so, so cool. And speaking of spies and lemons, At number 3 and 2 on this list is none other than Grem and Acer. Now, you did previously make in 2025, this year actually, new Thailand variants of them. So why not make them into mini form? They will look really cool right next to Professor Z, as, you know, 2 minis that we just haven't had yet. And I'm surprised you haven't touched them. If you're talking about Cars 2 characters that are main, I guess these guys are sort of main characters in a way, because they appear more than once throughout the movie, a lot of times actually. But in my opinion, I think they should be released as well. Maybe not in 2025, but hopefully in 2026 would look absolutely cool together. I could just picture them right now on the shelf of Spies and the Cars 2 stuff. Even you guys made Sidley, so you know you can make Grem and Acer. Those will look amazing. And at number 1 on this list is none other than Frank the Combine Harvester. Now, you guys might be wondering, ain't that a little bit far-fetched? Well, no, not really, because if you watched the last bit of this video when I talked about Grem and Acer, well, they made cars like Sidley, they made cars like Roger, which aren't actually technically cars, they're vehicles that go into the air, so they barely get any screen time. And I'm surprised that Frank hasn't been made as a mini racer yet. Maybe he won't fit in those blind boxes that you guys do, but as a multi-pack release, like, you've made the Tractor as a mini racer. Just imagine a Lightning McQueen, Frank, and Tractor. Now, I know you guys will probably put Mater in that pack, which would make a little bit more sense, but if you have to include Lightning McQueen, do Frank as well. He will just look amazing as a mini racer. And not only that, he does have a Thailand variant. In fact, he has 2 Thailand variants, one of which is actually quite rare. But yeah, just make a Frank. That would make my day. That would make my year. That would be perfect way to complete the mini races line if you make all of these 10 mini races that I have talked about in this video. Anyways, guys, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Until the next video, which will be whenever. Peace, everybody.